Are you struggling as a freight broker or freight agent? Are you concerned about starting your freight brokerage because you're afraid you might not survive? Well, listen, today I'm going to share with you 7 tips on how to survive your first year as a freight broker. Tip number 1, eliminate negative people. Fact is, negative people are like cancer to your business. And just like cancer can kill you, it can also kill your business. The fact is, negative people bring the entire energy down. They suck the oxygen out of the room. And unfortunately, you're going to have to make some difficult choices when it comes to distancing yourself and eliminating negativity if you're serious about surviving year 1 as a freight broker or a freight agent. Tip number 2, don't waste money on dumb shit. And yes, you heard me correctly. The fact is, I see startup brokers and agents doing this all the time, wasting money on things they don't need, okay? And I'll be honest with you, I was in the same boat. I did the same thing, but I learned from my mistakes. The fact is, you don't need a $5,000 website to start up as a freight brokerage or freight agency. You can get by with a website under $1,000 and probably a few $100s if you're creative, and it'll be a great site for you to start with to build credibility with no problems. Hey, by the way, you don't need a $2,000 computer with 3 monitors and all the bells and whistles. Trust me, you can get started for hundreds of dollars with a computer. You know, there's computers out there now you can buy for $300 or $400 or $500 that are more than capable of accessing the internet, running software, and doing everything that you need as a startup broker. And last but not least, don't buy shirts and hats and all kinds of swag with your logo or your company name on it. You want to know why? Because nobody wants that shit. Trust me when I tell you, nobody wants it, right? So don't waste your money. Tip number 3, don't major in minor things. Let me explain to you what I mean. A lot of entrepreneurs, freight brokers, freight agents, and everything in between, they love to have this big long to-do list and check things off their list all day long, 15 or 20 things. But the problem is 80% of those things have little or no impact on your business. They're what I call minor things. There's a few things that are going to have a major impact on your business. What you want to do is you want to focus on 2 or 3 core functions, core activities, things that can really have a significant impact on your business, and execute on them. The thing that you're going to spend the most, 90% of your time as a freight broker startup, is sales, prospecting, and following up. So don't major in minor things. Hey guys, just a quick heads up. I'm about to open enrollment for my Freight Broker Sales Accelerator program. So if you're struggling to get shippers, you're struggling on the sales side, check out the link below, freightbrokerbootcamp.com/waitlist. That's where you can get on the waitlist for my Freight Broker Sales Accelerator coaching program. It's a 5-week coaching program where I take that piece of my brain and I transplant it into your head, everything about my best freight broker strategies, tactics, tools, and my entire system that allowed me to do over $200 million as a freight broker. So get on the wait list. It's the only way you can be involved. www.freightbrokerbootcamp.com/waitlist. Tip number 4, focus on relationships over transactions. What do I mean by that? The fact is that in sales, no today doesn't mean no forever. That means you have to follow up. That means you have to develop the rapport and relationship necessary to allow you to follow up with someone who was previously a no so that in the future they could be a maybe or a yes. So follow up is key. Just because they say no today doesn't mean it's no forever. And when it comes to carriers, brokers have a tendency to be very short-sighted. They're very transactional. It's here today, gone tomorrow. What have you done for me lately? And that's a problem. If you want to differentiate yourself from other brokers, focus on that relationship. That might mean you'd have to pay a little bit more to secure that truck. But the fact is, building a reliable, stable, and core group of carriers that can help you weather the storms and cover freight without having to go to the load boards and be a post and hope broker is worth its weight in gold. So remember, focus on relationships over transactions. Tip number 5, land and expand, but don't stop prospecting. All right, what do I mean by that? Well, land and expand, what I mean by that is getting your first shipment from a shipper, getting your first load from a shipper is the hardest part. That's where you get to break traction. That's where you can start moving some freight and gaining some momentum. The fact is that first load is the biggest challenge, but once you get that first load under your belt with a shipper, your goal and objective should be to start getting regular freight, maybe in that lane or based on that project or based on that region or that customer, whatever the case may be. But you're looking to try to generate 1 or 2 loads per week minimum so that you can create some consistency and some predictability in your business, okay? Once you do that, then you're going to move on to develop maybe 3 or 4 or 5 loads a week. You might be able to expand into some other lanes, whatever the case may be. Eventually, you might be able to expand into some other facilities or even modes of transportation. But the fact is, land and expand is an important part of being a successful broker. You can't just do one and done loads. You'll go broke fast, okay? So, and then from a prospecting perspective, you can never stop prospecting. You have to keep your funnel full. You have to keep filling that funnel and generating new customers because attrition is part of every business, right? Sometimes it's your fault. Sometimes it's nobody's fault. The fact is customers will come and go. You might have them for 18 months. You might have them for 18 years, but somewhere in between, you may lose that customer and you have to build a stable of customers that can diversify your risk. So the fact is land and expand is great, but never get too busy to prospect. You'll always have to continue to prospect and fill your sales funnel. Tip number 6, reinvest profit into revenue driving tools and resources. So what do I mean by that? Here's what you shouldn't do. You start generating a little bit of profit in your business and you decide to go buy a new watch, or you decide to go buy a new car, or you decide to go on vacation. Those are all great things, but as a startup, you have to reinvest those profits back into your business. I mean, the fact is, most of the money coming out of your business is going to have to pay your personal bills and your business bills, but there's going to be some profit and you need to reinvest that. For example, invest it into sales leads, invest it into a CRM that's going to enhance your sales efforts, invest it into a TMS that's going to help you make more money, invest it into sales activities like face-to-face selling and taking people to lunch, things that drive sales. That's where you want to reinvest those profits. Again, you don't need t-shirts or hats with your company logo on it because nobody wants that crap. Stick it into something that really means something, that's really going to have an impact and move the needle when it comes to driving revenue. And tip number 7, last but not least, is to find a coach or a mentor. The fact is, the best entrepreneurs, the best athletes, the best people in their fields all have coaches. They all have mentors. They all have people that help them to fold time, save time and compress time, as well as prevent them from making costly mistakes. So having a coach or a mentor can be worth its weight in gold. And the fact is, you're looking for someone who's already done what you're looking to do, right? And you're looking for somebody who has that pedigree, who has that proven track record. And so that brings me to my Freight Broker Sales Accelerator. The fact is, I have trained over 600 people through my Freight Broker Sales Accelerator. It is a 5-week coaching program where I take this piece of my brain and I transplant it into your head, everything about freight broker sales strategies, tactics, tools, and my entire freight broker sales system that allowed me to do over $200 million as a freight broker. And I coach you for 5 weeks on that entire system. And if you want to get on the wait list, there's a link below. You can just go to the wait list, freightbrokerbootcamp.com/waitlist. That's where you can get on the wait list. I limit the spots. We're probably only going to put 50 people in it for this enrollment. It's going to be opening very, very soon. So get on the wait list. Again, if you're ready to go and you're on the wait list, pay close attention. We're going to be opening it up very soon. You'll get a link. You'll be the first to be notified. And at that point, you'll get all the details. You'll be able to enroll, and I'll be able to work with you to help you implement this system in your business. And if you're a startup, just looking for startup help, maybe you haven't quite got to that point yet. You know, you're a truck driver and you're just looking to set up a brokerage, or you're maybe looking to become an agent and you're just getting started and you haven't quite got the ball rolling. Check out freightbrokerbootcamp.com. It's my startup program where I've trained over 10,000 students. We've been in business over a decade. And again, we offer a 60-day, 100% unconditional money-back guarantee if you're a bootcamp customer. So check that out at freightbrokerbootcamp.com.